This is Kyle Juszczyk, and you're listening to Nothing But Niners.
This is Charles Haley. You're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, hits to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30. Needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline. Breaks the third tackle. Comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown. 49ers. 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle. Swings down the sideline. Throws off bodies like clothes after a marathon.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking down in post, and it's good. Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers!
But it's second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell, intercepted! The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption! Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown! No greater redemption!
San Francisco 49ers, we can do whatever we want.
Click, click, boom. What is going on, faithfuls? It's your boy Mike from the Nothing But Niners crew. And guys, we are live. Shout out to all the people out here in the Patreon community. Niner Cali boys in the building. Sinners in the building, man. What's going on, man? Listen, a lot of stuff is happening with the 49ers. We got a lot to talk about. I want to break down the pressers. The pressers are going to lead to some of the stuff that we're talking about and all that stuff, but it's all good. It's all good, man. I want to thank you all for your continued support. It means a whole lot to me. So again, thank you to all of you guys out there. Now, listen, man, the 49ers go out there and they extend Christian McCaffrey, and there's a lot of speculation going on as to whether or not he was in or out of the building, I should say, because of like, was it the negotiations or not, and a lot of people are going to say no. I'm one of those people. I don't think that Christian McCaffrey was holding out because of it. I do think that he had other obligations, and that's why he wasn't there. But whether or not I believe it to be that, Christian McCaffrey just so happened to show up when the money was done. They held him out of practice, which means that he wasn't there to participate. So maybe he did just show up to sign a check. Maybe that's possible. So what we're going to do today, we're going to break down two different, four pressers. We're going to do Kyle Shanahan, and we're going to do the players. I'm actually going to start with Coach Shanahan because I think the players are going to give us a little bit more. All right, we're going to break down these pressers. I'm going to light the hookah. We're going to sit back. We're going to relax. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to keep my eye on the chat. I want to talk to you guys. I want to hear from you all. Whatever it is that you guys have to say, I can't wait to hear it. We're going to go through this whole thing together. All right, we're going to have a good time, guys. So shout out to you all. And let's just go ahead and get into it. All right, let's go ahead and pull up head coach Kyle Shanahan. I got to do something about this mouse. This mouse double clicks when it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be like regular click, but it's doing double clicks, and I don't need it to do that. I don't know why it's doing that, man. So it's kind of irking me a little bit, but it's all good. We got Kyle Shanahan here. I'll leave it like that. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. All right. You guys let me know how the audio is on your end. Let me know if you can hear him.
Your thoughts on Christian and his extension? The guy here
Start right out the
really
gate.
seemed to deserve it after last year.
Yeah, I mean, every year he's been in the league, seems like he's been the same guy since he's walked in the building. He's the same guy every day on and off the field, and I'm pumped to have him here for a long time.
It's for our Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams, the only guys not here.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah.
Were reasons given by either of those two as to why they're not here?
And Trent's daughter's graduating today. Should be here tomorrow in BA contract stuff.
Do you expect Christian, is he here right now?
Yeah, Christian's here.
Tomorrow or?
We didn't have him do anything today. I mean, he was out there working out, but we didn't put him in any reps, and I doubt we do tomorrow too.
I mean, you don't deal with all the negotiation stuff.
Hold up now. I got to rewind this, y'all. I'm sorry.
This high profile.
Hold up now.
Trent.
Kyle didn't hold nothing back.
Reasons given by.
they want to know why Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams aren't here. Were reasons given? Yeah, Trent had his daughter's graduation. I'm not coming to practice on the first day either. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I've been practicing for 13 years. Cool. Coach, you understand? Yes, you do. Thank you very much. My child's graduation. I'm going to be there. Brandon Ayuk, it's contract talk. But the thing is to look in Kyle's eyes here. He don't flinch.
Here.
Built for
Yes. Yeah.
Were reasons given by either of those two as to why they're not here?
And Trent's daughter's graduating today. Should be here tomorrow. And BA contract stuff.
Do you expect Christian, is he here right now?
Yeah, Christian's here.
Like tomorrow or?
We didn't have him do anything today. I mean, he was out there working out, but we didn't put him in any reps, and I doubt we do tomorrow too.
I mean, you don't deal with all the negotiation stuff, but when it's players of this high profile, do you take a peek in there? Do are you at all kind of monitoring these things?
I do to a certain time, and then I kind of check out of it. When I don't have as much to do, players aren't in the building. It's kind of hard not to just check in and ask how it's going.
This was actually a really good question. I'm going to explain to you guys why I think this is a good question. And a lot of people are going to listen to that question. All right. Do you usually pop your head in and out of the negotiation rooms and things like that, or to see what's going on with the players, right? And it's basically a question to gauge how concerned Kyle Shanahan is about what's going on with his team. I think this is a phenomenal question. I absolutely love this question. I'm going to rewind it again, and I like Kyle's answer so far. Let's run it back a little bit. Hear what he says.
How do you take a peek?
We do tomorrow too.
With players of this caliber.
You don't deal with all the negotiation stuff, but when it's players of this high profile, do you take a peek in there? Do are you at all kind of monitoring these things?
I do to a certain time, and then I kind of check out of it. When I don't have as much to do, players aren't in the building. It's kind of hard not to just check in and ask how it's going, but there's not that many updates. I mean, that stuff takes time and everything, but now, especially with guys in practices, mini camp, stuff I don't ask about at all.
Kyle, up to this point, when we've asked you about Brandon, you said it's voluntary. And in similar situations the last 4 years, people in contract situations have been here for the mandatory mini camp. Does your view change on Brandon and his status with the team now that this is mandatory and he's not?
Cali boy, huh? This is it right here. This is it right here, man, right? This was the question that I asked Wayne. What happens when it becomes mandatory? Does Kyle Shanahan change at all? I don't think it's a coincidence that Matt Mayoko asked this question. I'm going to tell you guys why. I know for a fact that Matt supports this channel. Now, he might not be allowed to openly admit that. I've never heard him plug anybody else's YouTube channel or anything like that. But there's been plenty of times where I have said something here and Matt asked it at the very next presser. And I don't want it to be, unheard of. I don't want it to be thought differently. Like, I'm not saying that Matt's a snake or anything like that. It's cool. But here's what I like the most about it. We all know that Matt Mayoko is the mouthpiece for the 49ers. When there's questions that they need to be asked right away and up front, they usually let him ask them. They tell him, these are the questions that we want you to ask. So I thought this was phenomenal. Callie, good take. And I think Shanahan was well prepared for this because, again, he doesn't even flinch. Listen to how many aren't said in this.
Not here.
No, to me, it doesn't change at all. I mean, you find out when guys are in those situations whether they come or not, and some guys come because they want to avoid a fine, and some don't. But regardless, it doesn't change anything. When those guys have come, it's not like we know what the process is, we know what the business part is, and that's just how they decide how they want to handle this week.
Now, that's a well-prepared Kyle. When you get multiple in his question, he's thinking, he's got a, all right, let me make sure I don't say the wrong thing. Let me make sure I say the right things here. Let me not give away too much or whatever. And maybe, this is a long presser, so maybe we'll hear some of that later on. I can point it out to you.
Where is Diamador today?
He's out there. Yeah, we just kept him out of practice. Yeah, there's a couple guys who kept out. Just, they've been here for a little bit and tightness and stuff.
Why is Ricky wearing the blue non-contact jersey?
Just like to single him out so you guys can find him. No, anytime. Yeah, he had a little soreness from a couple weeks ago, and when it's like,
do I want to be petty? Do I want to be petty right now? I have like something that I really, really want to say. I just don't know if I should. There's reporters that go to the open practices and they do instant reaction shows and they do their segments where they break it down a little bit more. And one of those reporters said at his instant reaction, this guy wasn't there, 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 this guy didn't practice, this guy didn't practice. Blah, blah. He ran down a list of 7 or 8 players that weren't there. But they started this, and I want you to pay attention to who, I'm gonna rewind it. They started this with only 2 people weren't here.
Do you expect Christian, is he here right now?
Yeah, Christian's here.
Stop double clicking.
It's for our Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams, the only guys not here.
Yes.
Again.
Okay, so the person that does these shows, the Niners coaching staff and some of the players don't have the best affinity for this person. And so I don't think it's a coincidence that before he spoke, he went live and gave his immediate rundown and said, this person's not here, this person's not here, this person's not here, this person's not here, this person's not here. And the second question of the presser is, are Trent and Ayuk the only 2 ones that aren't here today? And Kyle right away, yes.
Well done.
This is
I'm
me
pumped to have
being
him
petty.
here for a long time.
It's for our Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams, the only guys not here.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah.
I love that the Niners are petty enough to allow Kyle to do stuff like this. I sincerely appreciate it. And I think Kyle gets a little joy out of it. I may have gone too far forward, but I'm sorry.
Maybe I don't understand that word very well.
All right. Yeah. This was, all right, let me go back here.
Process is, we know what the business part is, and that's just
all right, this is
how they decide how they want to handle this week.
Does he care whether or not?
Where is Diamador today?
He's out there. Yeah. Oh, we just kept him out of practice. Yeah, there's a couple guys who kept out. Just they've been here for a little bit and tightness and stuff.
Why is Ricky wearing the blue non-contact jersey?
Just like to single him out so you guys can find him. No, anytime. Yeah, he had a little soreness from a couple weeks ago, and when it's like that, we still want him in there, but it allows guys to avoid him as much as possible.
He's been prolific in the practices that we've watched. I mean, what is your early assessment on how he's doing?
I mean, I want to.
Okay. Matt Burrows. That's Matt Burrows again, taking a shot at the person who I think he was taking a shot at again. Let me give Matt a round of applause. I'm gonna make it a low one here. It'll be a short one. Where's my round of applause sound effect? Where is my applause? There it is. I love the pettiness. I love the pettiness, man. I absolutely love it. All right, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. The same person pointed out that none of the starting corners were at practice. And so that meant that the rookie Green had to cover people. Womack had to cover people, and they were all getting torched. And so I thought that this was a great question here by Matt, just being a little bit more petty again.
What is your early assessment on how?
But it allows to single him out so you guys can find him. No, anytime. Yeah, he had a little soreness.
It was. I went back. I didn't go back far enough. It was about the Demo question. Was Demo here?
Yeah, there's a couple guys who kept out. How they decide how they want to handle this week.
So listen here.
Where is Diamador today?
He's out there. Yeah. Oh, we just kept him out of practice.
So he's out there.
Yeah, there's a
All
couple
right, so
guys
now
who
you're
kept out. Just
debunking your own theory,
they've been
buddy.
here for a little bit and tightness and stuff.
Why is Ricky wearing the blue non-contact jersey?
Just like to single him out so you guys can find him. No, anytime. Yeah, he had a little soreness from a couple weeks ago, and when it's
And
like
then
that,
here comes the shot
still
from
want him
Matt
in
Burrows.
there, but it allows guys to avoid him as much as possible.
Talking about Ricky Pearsall.
Been prolific in the practices that we've watched. I mean, what is your early assessment on how he's doing?
I mean, I want
Now, he asked the question being honest. Kyle's going to give his honest response, but the shot is that when rookie camps and all were going, there was a team of people that made it a point to say Ricky Pearsall did not look good at all. They were charting his drops. He had a practice where he was 1 of 4 or something like that, or 0 for 4, and he dropped 1 and all that stuff. It was all this bad talk coming from one little group of Niners cover guys, some content creators, all under the same umbrella of the person asking these questions. I'm going to see if you guys can figure out who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to be that petty. But the cool part about this is Matt is clearly taking shots and picking a side. He's been prolific from what I've seen, meaning what that other person saw didn't make any sense to me. But Kyle's going to give an honest answer, and I like this answer even more than I like the question.
I wouldn't say prolific, but
I wouldn't say prolific.
Maybe I don't understand that word very well. I think, he's doing a good job. I mean, he's got really good hands, so he always catches it. I mean, rarely he's going to have a drop. We're getting him a lot of reps. He's getting a lot of different routes, trying all the positions, and I've been really impressed with how he started off.
How do you see Logan Thomas fitting into this tight end group, and what do you expect from him?
I really wanted to just up the competition there with the group and get a guy in there who's had success in this league in the run and pass game, who's been on a few teams and done it before. We like our group and there's some competition there, but having the opportunity at this point in the season to be able to add a veteran like Logan with his skill set and be able to get him in here to come compete and him being ready for it was something we were kind of pumped to pull off at this time. And we're just going to have him watch this week because he just got here today, and we'll give him a chance to come in training camp and compete with those guys.
Want to expect to be ready for camp?
Yeah, he should be ready around camp.
Any setbacks?
No, there hasn't been. There has not. Yeah.
No setbacks from Latu.
Juwan signed
Great
his
news.
contract. What does it mean to have him back out there and know that you have him here for the next couple of years?
You guys, I think everyone knows how much we love Juwan, just his style of play, just his personality, him in the building, and I mean the way he plays on the field is just this example of everything you want. So he's been great for us here so far, and pumped that he's going to be around here a little bit longer.
Well, you got the 3 veteran wideouts. You drafted one in the first round, drafted another one later. Maybe lost a couple blocking tight ends. Is it possible that you're looking maybe to go more 3 wides?
No, I don't think we have a change in philosophy on anything. You just name 5 receivers and you usually keep 6. Philosophy on anything.
Maybe
This is a good question. So all off season, we've been looking at the Niners picking up all these wide receivers, and they already have their 3. They're starting 3, and Ayuk and Debo and Jennings. They draft 2 more. They're currently working on negotiations. If they weren't working on negotiations, the Niners said, hey, we're not negotiating. I think Ayuk would have just showed up and said, all right, well, then if they're not going to negotiate a deal for me and they just want me to play on the 5th year, I'm just going to go out there and do my thing. I think the fact that Ayuk is not there means that they are working on something. Okay? Now, whether something comes to an agreement or not, we don't know. But this tells me that they are negotiating. Now, this is important because if they are negotiating and they planned on extending Jennings, which they did already, and they plan on extending Ayuk, which they're trying to, that means that the 2 rookies that they drafted are also going to make this team. Now, Kyle's going to say that we're going to keep 5, but a lot of philosophy questions were being asked about whether or not the Niners are going to change up some of the things. Are we going to see more 3 wides, maybe some 4 wide receiver sets? And so this question is being asked because it's been the talk of town since the draft. Maybe we see some single back sets, right? Some 21 personnel, things like that. So Kyle is breaking that all down here, and he can't give away too much. Notice that he starts with an
Field is just this example of everything you want. So he's been great for us here so far, and pumped that he's going to be around here a little bit longer.
Well, you got the 3 veteran wideouts. You drafted one in the first round, drafted another one later. Maybe lost a couple blocking tight ends. Is it possible that you're looking maybe to go more 3 wides?
No, I don't think we have a change in philosophy on anything.
Can't say too many of the wrong things.
You just name
Another
5
already.
receivers and you usually keep 6. Sometimes you can keep 5 and keep 3 on practice squad. So, that's kind of how the numbers work out. And we had a couple guys who have been here for a while that we lost in free agency. And you got to replace those guys. It won't be easy with Charlie and Dwelly, but we do have a group who've been here. That's also why, we anticipated that could happen. That's why you invest in guys like Latu and Braden the year before and hope that they get work so they're ready to take over that role. And that was tough on Latu, missing that whole year. But Braden got a lot of work because of it, and it gives him a better chance now to try to go in that spot with the guys he's going against.
What are you learning with the new kickoff rule?
That's Kyle's way of saying, even if it is going to be a philosophy change, I'm not telling y'all this early. There's no way. There's no way I want the league preparing for me and my plan in freaking June. It's not happening. Good answer, Kyle. But the were kind of a bit of a giveaway. Got to say the right things. Now, it doesn't mean that he's not planning on it and it won't happen later. It doesn't mean that it is the plan either. It just means that it's a possibility and I can't show my hand. Well done, Kyle.
In terms of, do you have any theories on, is a different skill set as a returner going to work? The ball per day, where are you at on that?
I'm not sure totally on the returner. It's
So, Sin, this is, I see your question here. I want to answer this. This is on Patreon right now. It will go live on the YouTube page tomorrow. It will go live on the YouTube page tomorrow around 12 o'clock. So you'll actually see your comments and all that stuff show up there as well. All right. But right now it's only on Patreon. All right. Let me get back to my man, Kyle. Rewind it a little bit so y'all can hear the question.
Is a different skill set as a returner going to work? The ball per day, where are you at on that?
I'm not sure totally on the returner. They're all so different. It's not like, the styles of kicks used to be the same. You wanted hang time as far as you could go. But now, are you getting that? Are you getting squib kicks? Are they bouncing? Do you want a shortstop who can just get the ball off the ground clean? Do you want the typical guy who can just hit that seam? Do you want more of a punt returner who can be more at a dead stop and go side to side to find the crease? So if there was one style of kickoff, I think we could come up with that, but I think they're all going to kind of be different. So I think it's going to be all types of players. I do think when you eliminate the space and everything that it'll probably be more big guys and stuff up front on both sides.
How excited are you that Purdy and Pearsall seem to already have a little bit of a on-field connection, and it looks like they've repped it?
It's been fun to watch both of them. I know, Brock doesn't always get to watch how the route gets there, but he knows when guys end up in the right spot and they catch it. That's where quarterbacks get comfortable, and I think he can feel that with Ricky right away. He's been getting to the right spot, and when he has made mistakes, he understands it and corrects it, and I think that's why those guys are going to have a lot of fun working together.
We talked about possibly changing the schedule of the offseason, with him coming back earlier in July and not doing some of the spring stuff. Do you have an opinion on what would be good or bad about that?
Yeah, I think eliminating an off season so you can have a 7-week training camp isn't the best idea to me. They used to do that, but they did 7 weeks because people didn't make as much money, and in the off season they had other jobs, so they had to leave whatever jobs they were doing, and they didn't work out in the off season, so you had to go to like a 7-week training camp to get guys back in football shape, which took a while, and nothing's worse than a 7-week training camp, even as a young ball boy, and so I don't totally like that. I also like the idea of, I just believe that when you end a long season, you need to get away. But you don't just get better in that training camp right before the season. I liked spring ball in college for myself as a player. That was the last time I played, but I felt like in spring ball you could go and improve on stuff. And sometimes you look bad in it, sometimes you look good, but there was things you worked on, and then everyone got away. And then you had 2 months or a month, whatever that summer is, to gain on those people and to go work out and get in shape. And yeah, I just worked on football in an off season that was provided because I can't go play in the Olympics or the YMCA or anything like other sports, or a batting cage and things like that. And then now I have this month to gain ground on guys where you don't if you take that away. And I also think it's tough because when you do get guys, like right now we're in decent shape, guys will go away for 40 days, they'll come back. But that's also, we have so much science on that. I can't tell you guys how much we've altered our program over the last 7 years. What we do on day 1 to day 2 to day 3 to the first off day to the reps on day 1 to day 2 before preseason game and after. So that's why the soft tissue injuries do get better. But if you don't do anything as a professional athlete for those 40 days away without us watching you, you might pull a hamstring. We're going to do everything we can to protect that. But if not, and you're still pulling them, like us making you come a month earlier might help that person. But I also think anyone who doesn't know how to work out and they're 40 days away, you're not going to make in this league very long anyways. So it's not too bad to weed 5 of those guys out.
Why is it not so important for the veteran leaders?
How did you know I was done? You just been holding your breath that long? All right, go ahead.
Shot.
So it's going to work out and they're 40 days away.
Oh, I'm petty.
You're not going to make in this league very long anyways. So it's not too bad to weed 5 of those guys out.
Why is it not so important for the veteran leaders?
How did you know I was done? You just been holding your breath that long? All right, go ahead.
Why is it not so important for the veteran leaders to participate in these practices? Is it because you're installing things that they already know?
No, it's that. I mean, you want all guys to work and stuff, but like, and I don't think anything hurts people.
Playing with the leg.
But you can get hurt anytime, whether it's here, whether it's anywhere else. But when guys haven't been here through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, just to throw them out there and that stuff, we're not going to risk that. And when I think of the risk reward on that, I'm definitely not going to risk it, because no matter what happens today or tomorrow, no matter what happens, we are going to get away and we're going to come back for 40 days. So you hope guys learn from these moments and stuff, and that does apply to what you do later, what you do while you're away. You stack days and you get better. But to think what someone does exactly on a rep or something is going to change their body in a month from now, that's different. And we got guys learning formations, cadences, how to come off the ball, how to run, how to move together. And guys are all over the place. And they're going to get away, and most of them will go work on it on their own and study it, watch tape, know how they're training now. And when they come back and we do the exact same things in training camp, a little with more pads and stuff, they'll actually have a chance to know what's going on and hopefully make a team instead of a practice squad.
A couple more. Christian's obviously not an old guy, not even an old player, but we know that position can age fast or get closer to 30, and be replaceable. We know what the salary's been like. What is it about Christian in your mind tells you that as he gets, this could take him to his 30s, 31, that he's still going to be this valuable that long from now?
Great question. This league treats the age 30 at the skill positions in particular like you just fall off a cliff. So this is a very, very important question. Now, I want to be clear here. I am listening real time. I haven't heard all of this. All right. So this is a very, very good question. What makes you so confident that Christian's going to be worth the money that you guys just gave him? Right? $64 million over the next 4 years. $66 million? 66.4, 64.6, something like that over the next 4 years for Christian McCaffrey. What makes you so confident that he's going to be living up to it at the end of his current contract?
Well, the running back market is different than everything. So I think that we feel very good with where we're at with that, with Christian especially. I think it's contractually, I think it's 4 more years. But when you look at Christian just as an individual, like, I'm not going to compare him to anybody else. Christian is one of the more talented people I've ever been in my life.
The contract
but if I didn't
says so,
speak
Kyle.
about that, I'd say he's almost the biggest overachiever I've been in my life. It's been around in my life in terms of how obsessive he is with every little thing, and just,
that's right.
You guys have heard us talk about him, but that's where he's extremely unique. And I mean, as you get older with age, you lose a step or something. That's not what makes Christian great. It's how he is the same player down in and down out. And yeah, it's great to have all the talent that he does have, and he takes care of his body as good as anyone. So you don't picture him losing any of that because of a number. But if that stuff does happen, Christian's always going to be a good football player until he decides not to be. And we're not really concerned with that at all with his type of personality.
When you think of the state, but how much does the front office come to you and say, we need this player, if we're going to give him this contract, we need this player to be good for 3 more years? Or will it be 2 more years? Does it get that specific in conversations with you?
I mean, just like reporters, everyone tries to get that specific, but only God knows that question. So you gotta evaluate everything, and you think of things, and you think of your history, you think of the history of whatever numbers you want to read, you think of how your roster is, where it's going to be, and then you think of the individual, and then you try to figure it all out what's best. But there's not, like I like to say, we don't think in absolutes in anything we do. So I mean, we're never going to say, hey, we don't do this at this age, or we don't do this for this position. Each individual is unique, and I think Christian is much of that as anyone I've been around.
What do you think of the state of the wide receiver?
Really, really good answer by Kyle there. Not everybody deserves big contracts later in their career, right? But they had no problem giving Trent Williams big money after he was already 30-something years old, 32 years old, right? Like, they didn't care because of Trent's work ethic. When you have those uniquely talented players, you pay them and you extend them because of multiple things that you see. And part of that is preparation. And it goes into what Kyle was talking about. What do you do in those 40 days when you're not here? You don't have to worry about Bosa just sitting around and eating potato chips. You don't have to worry about Christian McCaffrey just sitting around eating potato chips. These guys are going to come back and be ready. I don't have those issues with those guys. Some of the other guys, some of the other contracts that they gave out, you can see the outs. The outs are in there for a reason. if you sit around and eat potato chips, you're going to come back out of shape. We've heard it. I'm not going to say any names because I'm not throwing shots at anybody right now. I'm going to tone it back a little bit. But there are some players who they have given big contracts to in the last couple of years that they have some outs in there, and conditioning is part of it. So that was a really good question.
Unique, and I think Christian as much of that as anyone I've been around.
What do you think of the state of the wide receiver market? It seems like it's exploding unlike any other position.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. We've seen it with quarterbacks. You're seeing it right now with wideouts. It's happened with D linemen. It's just part of it.
Tarvarius was working on the sideline. Is he on the same time frame as George has to come back?
Yeah, they're both coming back from the core surgery, I think. They'll both be back at training camp.
Looking forward towards him, he's also set to be a free agent coming up. Is that something that you are emphasizing going forward, him and Diamador?
Yes, definitely. There's not many guys on our team that I would say there isn't any who are going to be free agents that we don't want around here. We've got some good players. We've built a good roster. And you can't keep everybody around. But, I mean, the guys that you're asking about, they're as much on our mind as anyone.
CMC had 339 touches last year. What do you think of that usage? And this year, do you see that number going up, or you think it's more likely to go down?
I mean, I don't think it always needs to be that case with all the runs. Like we got guys that can run the ball and stuff. We got to protect Christian from himself. He doesn't like to ever come out, no matter what the situation is. And I do think that's something we could protect him with more. When you are such a threat in the pass game, it's a little bit different, and that's when you get touches from a running back. A lot of times you're the last choice, just everyone's deep and you throw it to a check down. So like halfbacks can get 6 targets in a game without one play called for them, just because they're on check downs a lot. And so how do we feel about those touches? Man, I'm glad he was out there for that check down. That means no one's around and he's getting up the field and he's as good of a threat on a check down as there can be. But if he's just taking the wear and tear with 20 carries and stuff every game, and he's definitely good enough to do that, and he's proved he can stay healthy, but you'd like to take some of that off of him and give it to other guys also.
Last one. Have you guys finalized plans to practice against the Saints down at UC Irvine?
Yes.
Any cause to it's basically now 3 road games. That's a home game week. What were your thoughts on playing the 2 road games and then practicing on the road when you have a home game?
Just that I like practicing. It's more important to me to practice against someone and even play the preseason game. I think it's better for your team. So I wanted to make sure we got one out of that. I didn't want to do it the last week, just with it being so close and that we plan on playing our guys more in that game. And then I also don't like bringing teams here because we don't have as much land. We have 2 fields, and you kind of need a 3rd field. And so I don't like how tight it is and stuff. It's just too tight out there, and it kind of messes our grass up for so long. So it's better when you go to a place that has 3, sometimes 4, even 5 fields.
It'd be the same day off before or the day before the game, and then the practice is 2 days out.
Yeah.
For scrimmages in Nashville?
We actually wanted it, but because of the travel and stuff, we'd have to go out too early, and then it would be an issue. I would love to scrimmage versus them, but because we're going on the road for the next week in our home game, then it's going to end up feeling like we truly are on the road that long. So we'll just go to Nashville the day before the game and come back the next day.
Have you talked to Jed? Asked him to you guys act together about the field situation?
No, that's I better not say it. Jed's on that stuff, but I have an idea, but nobody wants to hear it. All right, guys.
All right. So that does it for Kyle Shanahan. Next up are going to be the players that were able to address the media today, and we have 3 of them so far. Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and Mooney Ward. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring them up to the screen now. We're going to keep this thing moving here. We're not going to waste your guys' time. All right, and so let's hear from Mr. Smiley. Mooney Ward is up first. Here we go.
I feel good, back running, doing DB drills, everything I need to be doing leading up to training camp. So I think I'll be ready day 1 to camp.
How challenging was it to play that second half of the season with the injury?
You said how?
How challenging was it?
I done had this injury for like almost 4 years now, dating back to when I was in KC. So, I mean, it just started to get a little worse over time. You know, the grind of a football season. So it started wearing on my body a lot. So, I mean, I just felt like I had to get it done. I mean, I was balling the second half of the season, so, you know, it really didn't take much of a toll on me, seemed like it.
Talk your shit. I was balling.
When you say it got worse, I mean, was it, like you mentioned, you were playing well.
Yeah.
Did it get more difficult just to play through it?
Just like my day-to-day life, like just sitting down, my lower back started to hurt. Driving the car, sitting in the car for a long period of time, my body was just aching just doing that. And once, you know, my back started to hurt, I'm only like mid-20s. It felt like I was 35, 40 damn near, so I had to get it done when that started happening.
I like that answer. Get it done. Get it out the way.
We're obviously had a great season last year. Where are you looking to improve, or what aspects do you think you can get better?
Capitalize on a lot of missed opportunities I had last year. I feel like I could have had almost 10 interceptions last year. So I want to just, you know, make more plays, try to become more of a leader, more of a talker. I'm kind of like the old head of the DB group now. So, I just become more of a leader and make more plays, be better than I was last year.
What are your initial impressions on the young guys coming in?
I haven't been with them too much because I've been rehabbing, but just watching film, I think Renardo, that's his name, right? Renardo. I didn't know if it was Ronaldo or Ricardo, but I know he can play. I know he can play just by like watching film. He's super sticky in coverage. I think he's smart. Once he get a little more reps under his belt, I think he's gonna be a baller for us.
Looney, you know receivers. What do you think of Pearsall and Cowing, the two rookies so far?
Cowing's super fast, like real fast. Ricky, he's shifty, got good moves, good hands, create a lot of separation. So I think those guys are going to help us out a lot this year for sure.
The Nick Sorensen kind of defensive partnership is going to be like, you guys kind of set a tone right now?
You said, do I have a feel?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Nick been around, you know, for a while here in San Francisco. So, I mean, I think it's going to be status quo. We're going to be the same defense, probably, hopefully, you know, fly around a little bit better and try to get over the hump and win the Super Bowl. I think only way we can get better is become a championship defense. We've been to the conference championship, Super Bowl. We just haven't won it yet. So, yeah.
Have you spent any time with Brandon Staley? I know he's spending most of the time with the DBs.
Like I said, I've been rehabbing a lot, so I haven't been with the coaches a lot. But I know he's super smart. Seemed like a good coach, funny. I talked to some of the other guys about him, about his coaching style. They say they like him. So I'm pretty sure I'll fit right in and, you know, have a good relationship with him.
You've been on a Super Bowl winning team and you've been on a Super Bowl losing team.
Yeah.
Were there any intangibles, like in the mental approach to the game, that you noticed that were different in those two situations?
I don't want to sound dumb, but what you mean by intangibles?
Obviously, you prepare hard on both sides, but
Mm-hmm.
were there any mental things that you noticed that were different last year as opposed to when you were on the Kansas City team where you won?
I honestly think we was the best team. We was the better team. They just, well, I wouldn't say better team. They were the better team because they won, but I feel like we had a little more talent, but they just had the best player in the NFL, so, I mean, they got it done. That's point blank, period.
Going into the last year deal here, how important is this year for you? And would you like to get something done to stay around, or do you want to kind of play this out?
Talking about a deal? Yeah, I like to stick around. I feel like it's a good team. They love me here. I love it here. Love all the coaches, love my teammates. But, you know, I just let my agent handle it. That's the business side of things. I'm just do my job, go out there and ball, you know, put the pressure on them. You know, hopefully they give me a bag. If they don't, I know it won't be like any bad blood in between me and them. It's just like, it'll be a business decision, but I'm pretty sure they'll like to have me, and I'd like to stay here for sure.
Very mature answer.
Looney, how excited are you to have Floyd with Bosa up front this year?
Leonard Floyd, right? Leonard Floyd, I think he a dog, man. I've been watching him a lot of his career with the Rams and the Bills in Chicago, too. I think he a dog. He can play. It seems like he got a lot of good energy by himself. He play hard. He run to the ball. So hopefully it just make my job a whole lot easier, you know what I mean? Well, he is 8-9-year vet, maybe 10-year vet, so he an OG, so I know he gonna get the job done whenever he in the game for sure.
You plan on going back home to do the rest of rehab during the 40 days off?
Yeah, I'm going back home. I gotta be with my family a little bit. Yes, ma'am.
Traveling during the off season, how life-changing was that?
I went to a lot of places. I went to Africa. Feel like it's one of the best countries. Just to see our people over there, you know what I'm saying? It was, I don't want to, you know, I saw a lot of black people over there, and it just felt good to be around them, you know what I mean? and to see like how they live, you know, they don't have a lot like we got in America. They don't stress about the things we stress about, like, you know, the fancy cars, clothes, and everything like that. They just happy like to get by every day, you know. So a lot of them was super poor, poverty, but you know, their spirit was way up here, you know what I mean? So that's what I love about Africa. Definitely see myself going back over there to help out once I retire, and toward the latter end of my career for sure. You know, I want to help my people out for sure.
Did any of that kind of help to put this season into perspective when you got the surgery done and deal with the injury? You just said you have goals that you wish you had taken advantage of last season, and then to see that with a new perspective, did they help you to come into this season with an even broader perspective on what you needed to do?
I'm sorry, can you say that again? I ain't really.
Sure, so I was a little winded.
Let me give you 4 reasons why this is the smartest wallet you'll ever own. Hey, I'm Daniel, one of the founders of Rich.
With that, being that you went out and you saw that, and you said it changed your perspective about things, knowing what you've been through to get to this point, losing the Super Bowl, having the surgery, do you have a new perspective coming into this season on what you have to get done personally and then as a team?
Personally, it just taught me to be more grateful and thankful for everything I have. You know, NFL player, rich as hell, got one of the best jobs in the world, but I still kind of like stress about like small things that I shouldn't stress about. So it just taught me to be more grateful, more thankful for everything. Like I said a few seconds ago, like they don't have much, but shit, their spirit was like way up here. You know, everybody had good personalities that was funny, that weren't complaining about nothing. So personally, it just taught me to be, like I said, again, thankful and grateful. And this season, I kind of come from poverty too. I come from nothing, so I know I went all pro last year, Pro Bowl, but I don't want to become, comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So it's just gonna teach me how to grind harder and, you know, match what I did last year and become even much better.
What part of Africa did you travel to?
I went to South Africa, Zimbabwe, Johannesburg, and Cape Town. All 3 of them was a vibe. I love all 3 of them. Made some friends out there. I'm gonna fly one guy out here that I met out in Africa to meet his daughter. She go to school in Denver.
Wow.
I think she go to culinary school, and he can't really afford to come out here. So, you know, I'm helping to come out here for sure. I feel good when I do stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow. Huh? Let's give my man a round of applause for that. What a phenomenal answer. He met somebody out there. His daughter is here in school, in culinary school in Denver, and he can't really afford to get out here. He's going to fly him out here, man. Oh, come on, make some noise. Make some damn noise. That's what I like to hear. Okay. All right. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys, so listen. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to take a short little brief, maybe a 2-minute timeout if you guys want to go and grab something to drink real quick. I'm going to pop my little screen up here that says we'll be right back. Please don't leave. All right. Yeah, yo, come on now. Like, Callie, how do you not like hearing that, man? Like, I mean, come on. Mooney, oh, A+, man. A+. Absolutely love it. All right, guys. Listen, I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes, 2-minute intermission. All right, I'll be right back. Okay. All right. We are back. We're going to go ahead and let this thing keep going. We're going to let this these pressures continue. And right now we got Deebo Samuel up to the podium. Sin, thank you for your patience. Cali Boy, thank you for your patience. And there's some other viewers in here as well. They just haven't said anything in the chat yet, but it's all good. All right. Let's hear from Deebo. Now, part of this whole thing is to read the body language and all that stuff. I like the confidence that I'm getting from Mooney Ward. He also said, I don't want to become too confident. He doesn't want to become too complacent with the Pro Bowl and all that stuff, right? Like, he still has goals for himself. But let's go ahead and get to Deebo. I want to see the body language now. You know, you got Christian McCaffrey getting paid. Deebo got paid. Let's see what we got from our guy Deebo here.
Thank you.
Well, what's been your first impression of Ricky Pearsall and how he's fit into the offense?
Been really impressed. Just going back and watching Ricky, you know, he's very fluent in and out of routes, and he got really good hands.
All right. It's the first thing you guys notice about Deebo here. We talk about body language and all that stuff. He's got the one chain hanging out, no earring in. Hasn't had a haircut in a while, right? I like this, right? Mooney had his hair done. He's well-groomed. Kyle looks, a little scruffy, but, that's Kyle this time of year. Normally when we see Deebo at the podium, his hair and everything is well-maintained. He's got an earring in. He's got the necklace on. Now, he's got the one out. He's letting y'all know, hey, I'm wide receiver 1. But no haircut. I think Deebo might be focused. Already I'm getting the focused Deebo. Look at the look in his eyes here, okay? All right. Deebo, I'm liking it so far. Come on, big dog.
What kind of advice are you giving to Brandon during this time?
Much as I can, actually. I know this is a stressful time, and he's done a tremendous job throughout his career here. And when it comes to things like this, it get tough, and some things you kind of take personal, and it's just like overall, it's just a stressful process, to be honest with you.
Kyle said Ricky's working at all 3 positions. Do you remember as a rookie how hard it was to try and pick up on all the nuances of the offense?
Oh yeah, for sure. This is one of the most complicated offenses I've ever been a part of, and this is the only one I've been a part of. So still to this day, it's still new stuff in week and week out.
When you went through the process that Brandon's going through right now, did you feel like the stress of it affected you in any way that you're?
Oh yeah, for sure. At the end of the day, you want to get what you deserve, and at the end of the day, you hope it happens, but it's not going to happen in a timely manner that you want it to happen. It's just, it's just a waiting game, and just, in this situation, you just let his agent communicate with them, and they communicate back, and it's just a back and forth for a long time.
What's it been like for you, having gone through that process 2 years ago, now to see so many other wide receivers almost on a daily basis getting theirs? Do you take pride in that position to see what other guys are getting?
Oh yeah, for sure. It just shows all the hard work that other people put in, and people just getting what they deserve.
Your name certainly kind of was brought up too around the draft, and John and Kyle did not deny that they'd at least take calls on you, on Brandon, on anybody. Did you hear that, and what was that like to hear?
Yeah, I heard it. Had a conversation with my agent about it. That was going back and forth with whoever it was, but it was a thing at first, but we done moved past it, so we're here to get better.
There were calls. There were talks to the agent. We here. We working. The Niners were in discussion with multiple teams to trade Deebo, and now you've heard it from Deebo himself. It's all confirmed. But we moved past it, and we're here. I don't think Deebo liked that, though. I don't think Deebo liked that, y'all.
Around the draft, and John and Kyle did not deny.
Huh? Look at that. He turned into Shady McCoy.
Your name certainly kind of was brought up too around the draft, and John and Kyle did not
Shady.
deny that they'd at least take calls on you, on Brandon, on anybody. Did you hear that, and what was that like to hear?
Yeah, I heard it. Had a conversation with my agent about it. That was going back and forth with whoever it was, but it was a thing at first, but we done moved past it, so we're here to get better.
It's been noted that you don't have a lot of money next year, so possibly they could get out from that. I mean, do you realize that when you sign the deal? Almost, or does it hit you now? This might be your last year.
I mean, at the end of the day, contract was signed. I know what I signed up for, and we just focus on this year.
A lot of veterans not participate in OTAs and minicamp. Why was it important for you to be on the field for OTAs and minicamp?
I came back phase 3 last year as well, so it's just like the routine that I've built, and I've always been here mandatory minicamp. So I mean, it's the routine I have.
Why the change to number 1, and how does it feel being in it for a little while?
It was good. That was the only number I ever wore in my life. So I always wanted to go back. I actually offered Jimmy some money not to wear it the year that he wore it, and he wasn't going for it, but he just sold it to Stephon. But whatever. So I mean, it was cool to get the number back.
Shot.
And
I
just,
like it.
Get the Samuel Senior on the back of my jersey, kind of represent me and my son.
Well, what do you do in these 40 days between now and camp? Do you ramp it up? Do you run? Do you?
Yo, they are absolutely killing this right here, man. This is phenomenal right here. Sin said it. Debo looks mad, right? Come on now. He looks like he's feeling something, right? Cali boy, pew pew, shots fired, right? Like, all right, I tried to get the number from you, said no, but you go give it a dig. It's cool, right? But listen at the questions they're asking him. You went through this thing. How'd you feel? You heard about the trades. You got the outs of your contract. They are laying it on Debo. Why are you here for all the phases now? Well, I came back in phase 3. Okay, cool. I'm always here for the mandatory. He's trying to dispel the stuff, but Debo, look at the screen we're paused on. If you guys aren't in full screen mode, just zoom in. Just look at this guy. I'm not about getting groomed. I'm here to get in shape, and I'm here to show them that they need me. I know about the outs next year, or does he? I know what I signed, right? But it is what it is. I know what I signed up for. Now, here we are. We got to go out here and earn it. They want to talk about trading me. I got to show them why they don't want to trade me. We might be getting something special from Debo this year, y'all.
What's your work? Does your workout change?
For sure, you got to take a break. Take my son to Disney World, wherever he want to go, wherever his mom got it planned, because I'm not a planner. I just go and have fun, and then after that, I'll ramp it up and get ready for camp.
Your thoughts on McCaffrey getting a new extension?
When I seen he came back, I kind of wanted some money from one of my teammates because they said he wasn't coming, but I knew he was coming. But, nobody want to give up money. But anyways.
Whoa. I won some money from my teammates because I said McCaffrey was going to come in. They said he wasn't. So does this confirm everything that I thought wasn't true? I did not think McCaffrey was away due to the contract. He was still going to get $16 million, just had no guarantees. But that was his base salary was 14 and some change, something like that, right? Like he was going to get the money. Debo said, I told them he was going to come. They said he wasn't. So it was a talk in the locker room of whether or not Christian McCaffrey was going to show up.
Your thoughts on McCaffrey getting a new extension?
When I seen he came back, I kind of wanted some money from one of my teammates because they said he wasn't coming, but I knew he was coming. But, nobody want to give up money. But anyways, it was kind of cool to see it get done. Like I said, it's just good to see people get what they deserve. And at the end of the day, we move past it and we're just getting better and better every day.
Will you work out with Trent again?
Huh?
Will you work out with Trent Williams sometimes, right?
Not really, sometimes.
Thank you, guys.
You're going to be able to help pay for the wedding now?
All right. So we got Christian McCaffrey on here now, but did Debo look a little annoyed with that last question? I work out with Trent Williams. What?
End of the day, we move past it and we're just getting better and better every day.
Will you work out with Trent again?
Huh?
Will you work out with Trent Williams sometimes, right?
Not really, sometimes.
Thank you, guys.
Same place, same time. Sounds like it was nothing really planned. We just happened to be there and did some workouts. That's not really part of who Debo is. And now we're going to hear from Mr. Money Man, huh? 60+ million over the next 4 years. Best running back in the NFL. Let's go, baby.
Be able to help pay for the wedding now?
Hope so.
Rich, one of the last few weeks, like I assume you were asking or were in talks for this extension. How did that kind of process go?
He did.
Yeah,
it's
business is business. It's part of this game. Both sides were mutually very respectful the whole time, and just proud and happy that we got something done.
Last year at this time, there was so much talk about the running back market and whether. How important is it for you to continue to try to keep raising that bar for the position group as a whole?
I think it's really important. I think running backs have been undervalued for a long time now, and hopefully this is a step in the right direction.
Very good answer.
Last year during OTAs, for the amount of work that you were doing in the practices, were you able to kind of do that workload elsewhere while this was all being worked out?
Yeah, there's no substitute for being on the field with the guys to practice football, but you do the most you can with what you have.
Christian, you had an amazing year last year, but it's been said that you've obsessed a little bit on the fumble in the Super Bowl. Is that an accurate description? How do you view it, and how has it served as a motivator?
Yeah, I mean, I don't harp on one play, bad or good, especially going into a new year, completely new year. You just got to focus on one day at a time and just stick to your process, whatever that may be. But last year's last year, whether we won or lost. We're deep into the offseason now, ready for this next year.
Christian, your time in this organization, what has made you just happy that you are going to be here for the next several years, and just respect your prior organization, but kind of what makes you happy here?
I really appreciate the players on the team. I think, anytime you sign an extension, obviously you're individually really happy, but then you also have to think about the other guys on the team who have helped you get there and who are a big part of your individual success. So I really, I'm very thankful that I'm on a team with guys like that, with a great staff, just an overall great organization, takes care of the players. And so I've had nothing but an amazing experience in my time here, and I'm really fired up that I'm staying.
I was wondering what it was like to walk out in the field. I saw you shaking hands with a couple of players when you first got out there. What was the sense of, relief?
Yeah, I think it was awesome. I'm very fortunate, man. I'm really blessed, and thanking God every minute just because I feel really good. But at the same time, we got to win football games, and that's the business side of it. And you got to learn how to separate the business side, and then when you're back on the field, make it about the football side. But I'm definitely not just ignoring it. I'm happy. I'm excited about it, and appreciate the guys on the team.
Initial impressions of Isaac Rendo.
I think he's great. I've been with him for one day. I think both all three of the new running back additions are fantastic. They're smart. They're detailed. They go about it the right way. You can tell that instantly. And, listen. Coach T's on them, and they listen, they respond, take coaching well, and excited for all three of them in the room.
What was it like for you watching the draft with Luke getting drafted, and what's he
Yeah, that was awesome, man. It was emotional. It was so cool to he's like the little brother of the didn't really kind of hit me when I saw his name go across the board. You're like, damn, that's Luke's playing in the NFL. But I was just so proud of him, and I know how hard he's worked. I know the journey he's been on. I know the ups and the downs that he's gone through, and he's done nothing but persevere through them. So I'm fired up for him, and hopefully he has a lot of success.
We always talk about championship windows, and we know how talented this roster is, but there's some older players on it too. And Armstead, had left the team this year. How much window do you see for this team? How much extended does this team have a chance to keep this window open to win a championship?
I don't know. I know we got a window this year. That's all I know. So I'm focused on this year and taking it, one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 year at a time.
Bobby Turner and how he's really on the young running backs. He also is very much on them during the whole draft process. Did you have contact with him when you were going through that at all?
Yeah, I met with him in the train station late at night in passing for a little bit and just got to talk to him. But my dad played for the Broncos when he was the running back coach and Coach TD, and so obviously I knew who he was, and I'd already heard the legends. So I was fired up just to be able to chat with him for a little bit, and all kind of comes full circle. So thankful he's my coach, and just in lieu of this extension, he's somebody that plays a huge role in that.
Leonard Floyd actually spoke last week and said the difference in this team compared to other teams is how hard this team works. You've just extended for an extra 2 years. If you can kind of specify what is the difference with how this team prepares you guys to go out there, you just spoke about the window compared to maybe other teams that you've been a part of.
Yeah, I think the difference is the culture. Culture's been set for a while, and the standard is really high. I think when you have a lot of really good players who are also your hardest workers, it's a recipe for success, and it's the way that we're coached, I think, is different. It's all about football. When you get in these meetings, you're going over football. You're not just going over technique, but you're going over the attitude. As an offensive player, I love watching the defensive meetings when Kyle's coaching up the defense, because you start to understand the attitude of the team and the tone setters and there's a certain way you play football, and here are the film examples of it. And I think the combination of all of those different things, the way they feed you, the way they take care of you, and the training room, all the weight room, all these things that kind of come together, you get a full buy-in. And I think when you have a full buy-in, especially from your most talented guys, it's a good recipe.
This contract will take you into your 30s, and since you're a running back, you're supposed to fall apart on your 30th birthday. Do you view that as
We talked about this
another
earlier.
challenge to show that you can be different?
Yeah, I've never really listened to all that stuff. I think I've seen a lot of backs have a lot of success into their 30s. So I've never really listened to any of that. I feel good. That's all I know.
One thing, you said you met with Bobby Turner in a train station late at night. What was the train station?
That's where the combine is, at that hotel in Indy, yeah. No, yeah. I could see how that would be a confusing statement, yeah.
Still have that much contact with you now that you are running for him, underneath him as a coach?
Oh, yeah. Constant communication, yep.
Yeah, Bobby don't let go.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right. Well, I got some questions in here. If you guys have any questions for me, please shoot them. Fire them away. I will answer them, and we're going to get up out of here, man. It's a nice long hour show here. Thank you all for your patience. Again, this will go live tomorrow. There's going to be 2 that go live. One's going to go live at midnight East Coast time. This one will go live at 12 noon tomorrow, okay? Cali Boy says, Mike, does that mean he took less for the other guys to get signed? I don't think that you have to take less for other guys to get signed. I think you can change the way it's structured so that they have the cap space to do it. You can do certain things as a bonus and all that stuff. And it's very, very likely. Christian McCaffrey seems to be focused on winning the Super Bowl, right? One of the things that I love that he said here when he came in was, I don't get too high or too low about any play, good or bad. You got to get back out there and do it. And he said, especially at the start of a new season, right? It's 0 carries, 0 yards, 0 receptions, 0 touchdowns. Like, he hasn't done anything this year. And that seems to be his focus. And that's the kind of player that goes to attest to what Kyle was saying. Like, there's certain guys that you just don't worry about. And this is why you don't have to worry about a guy like Christian McCaffrey, because he is going to come in prepared. He's going to come in here and be ready to go. He's going to come in here and, give you the best that he's got every single day. Kyle talked about how he doesn't like to be pulled out no matter what. We got to protect him from himself, right? And so it just speaks to the character of who McCaffrey is. And then the contract and the way the structure hasn't come out completely. We've seen the numbers, we've seen the totals, but the structure hasn't come out 100%. I'm willing to bet that Christian McCaffrey did some things like that, They talked about how he had 360 touches or something like that, right? Like, Kyle says we don't want him to carry the ball 20 times in the game if he doesn't have to. Well, you do the math on there's 17 games. That's 340 carries, right? They're talking about that number again. I would not be surprised if Christian McCaffrey has some sort of incentive for 200 rushing attempts, right? Something that's significantly lower than where he was, but they expect him to exceed, that he's going to make. And those are the kind of incentives that you can take that will leave some space on the cap and it'll come in as a bonus and all that can help your teammates out a lot. So I don't doubt that Christian McCaffrey did something like that. He absolutely wants to keep this team together. And Kyle even talked about how there's not many free agents or any free agents that are going to be coming up that we want to get rid of. We have a good team here and we want to keep that core together. So I thought that, if you listen to it as a collective, these guys are all saying the same thing. These guys are all saying the same thing. I'm here. I want to be here. I want to stay and play. Except one guy, Debo, was, hey, I'm here right now, and that's all I'm worried about, and I'm going to go out there and put my best foot forward. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm looking into it a little bit too much. Maybe I'm not looking into it enough, right? But this was a really, really good five-part thing here that we had. Four-part, 3 players and Kyle. It was really good. So I hope you guys enjoyed. That's going to do it for today's breakdown. And we will be back tomorrow on Wayne's channel. If you guys are watching this, Wayne's show will be coming up in about 2 hours from now. So make sure you guys are there on the Wayne Breezy channel where we bring in the BAM show. All right. Let me see. Is there another comment I got to get to before we get out of here? Let me see what this one says. Come on. All right. Nope. That's it. Good shit, Mike. And thanks. No problem, man. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Sincerely, man, all the time. That's going to do it for us, though, man. Prepare for glory, anticipate pain, but always remain faithful. Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. See, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but niners.